Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
From the 27, Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete. There in coverage to knock it away, Marquise Blair. Starters for the NFC across the O-line. It's Tyron Smith of Dallas at left tackle, Brandon Brooks of the Eagles at left guard. You got Alex Mack, the center of the Falcons, another Cowboy, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Teron Armstead of the Saints holding down the right side. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during the, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down, he finds a way to convert.
They go play action now. Wilson almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
One of the most respected, one of the most feared, yet one of the most fun players in the league. That's outside linebacker Von Miller. He does everything coming off the edge to wreak havoc on any offense that he plays against. 98 sacks in his young career, just 30 years old, no end in sight watching this guy play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
On first down, Lawrence. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Lawrence. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 11-yard touchdown. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So the AFC, they won the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons and off to another good start here.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game. How many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 AFC. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta. New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score, going totally opposite what it should be.
Wow, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The 2 punters, so Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
On third down, Wilson. It's caught by Aguilar. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, defensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And he will take this back. A fumble return for an NFC touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The starting unit for the AFC, definite Pittsburgh connection on that offensive line. 3 Steelers in Villanueva, Pouncey, and DeCastro. Also in that starting group, Quentin Nelson, the rookie from Indy at left guard, and the Titans' Taylor Lewan, selected to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl at right tackle. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll set them back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Starters defensively for the NFC, they have 9 guys with Pro Bowl experience. The 2 rookies, while they're in the secondary, both of the Chicago Bears, Kyle Fuller at corner, Eddie Jackson, the free safety. They join a 3-timer in the Eagles, Malcolm Jenkins, and an 8-time Pro Bowler in Patrick Peterson of Arizona. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, Lawrence. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And My next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Quentin Williams. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing is Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it? The Madden Studios right here in Orlando, that's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
7-7, our score after 1. Charles Davis on 2nd down. Lawrence. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He completes it to Boyd. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The AFC punt team out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Field comes New Orleans. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
James has got it. Complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation.
And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The AFC punt team out there now as he's on to kick it away. Oh, the NFC gets in there and blocks it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The kick by Joseph is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sione Takitaki. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's AFC football as we resume play. The AFC punt team out there now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Fair catch signal and taken just shy. Field goal try.
And no doubt about it because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and now it's 3rd down. Wilson.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing, and on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go.
From the gun, Lawrence. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Well, you get slap happy up here sometimes. Another night, and they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The AFC punt team out there now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, the NFC gets in there and blocks it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. Past the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the NFC able to widen their advantage.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Joseph on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, They've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one to break the streak. A lot still to play for in the second half as we go back to Camping World Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Easy work. It's easy work.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Lawrence. Over the middle to Smith. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense. And Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Wilson looking left side, and he's got Sternberger. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On the counter, Elliott. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Lawrence. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The AFC punt team out there now, and he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense for the NFC back out there. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They called him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And movement up front looks like a false start for the AFC. Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mike 5-4.
From the gun, Lawrence. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And they give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't pound it in. Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 2-yard touchdown run. And the AFC able to draw a bit closer. Able to punch it in on 3rd down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Looks good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And one thing you'd like to see in a Pro Bowl, a competitive contest. We've got that just like the last 2 seasons. A one-score game as we play here in the fourth.
What I'd love to know, what's the discussion on the sidelines of both teams right now? Because, you know, it's an exhibition-type game. But as you said, as competitive as it is now, these guys are going to want to win. There may be some guys who sub some guys out, trying to get back on the field and trying to help their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really
pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Back out is the AFC offense. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, you know, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out.
Down, 50, plant.
Throwing after the interception. Lawrence looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Hustle, hustle.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Lawrence got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. They're still tied, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the gun, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. On 4th down, Lawrence. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the AFC able to cut it to within a score.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Lutz with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That time, a 6-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock defensively. They have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Come on, fellas.
So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A 1st down carry by Elliott, and he's going to get this one down to the 45. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll give to Elliott. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.